Hey there, got another non-shaving video for you here. You can see I'm tasting Lagavulin. Last time I did Lafroig. And last time not only did I blind taste and rank them, but I guessed what each one was. This time I don't think I'm gonna guess. I'm gonna taste them. They're blind. These are marked, the bottles are marked. I didn't pour them. See, there's obvious variation in color here. I'll rank them to my preference. Mostly doing this for me because I'm just curious, but I thought I would record it and share it. And then I haven't tasted this one or this one yet, so I really can't. I mean, maybe I'll guess what they are, but this will be my first time tasting those, so we'll just see how this goes. If you can see, just coincidentally, see, look at these colors here. See those two next to each other? Look at the contrast of these, huh? So I'm betting actually just that this is the 8, so or the 9. So let me tell you, we're going with, this is the Lagavulin Distiller Selection. This is the one I haven't tasted. I don't know which one I pointed out. This is the Offerman edition, the new one that's in finished in Guinness beer casks. This is the Lagavulin 16. This is kind of the standard flagship, I guess you might call it. The Game of Thrones 9-year-old. This went on sale maybe a year ago. They were just trying to get rid of this stuff, so you could pick it up for, I think, like 35 bucks a bottle for a while. And then the Lagavulin, the 2020 special release, 12-year-old. Which I also haven't tested. Anyway, so I'm going to start with, this is the Green Star. So this has, I guess, the typical Lafroig note, or Lagavulin note. So I'm getting, actually some sweet notes on this. I better write down my notes here. That's why I got my little notepad here. So sweet, honey, a little lemon. Very nice on the nose. It is a little bit astringent, maybe. Wish there was a little bit more depth to it, because it is also alcohol forward. So a lot of that goes away when you taste it. You do get the alcohol hits hot and hard right from the beginning. So you would say that some people think that that's more like a hot cinnamon or white pepper kind of taste. And then it's immediately followed by peat. On second taste, you do get a little bit of that sweetness, a little bit of like a sugar rock candy up at the very front. But it is very much alcohol, white pepper, and peat still. Not to jump ahead, but like I said, because of color, because of lack of complexity, there's a very good chance that that's the 9. The rest of these, I guess maybe this is the lighter one, but you can see they're all quite a bit darker. So it's just, I'm going to put them in this order, and we'll go from lightest to semi-darkest here. So this is the Yellow Star. Oh, that smells good. And and I wish, you know, if I was doing wines, I'd be a lot better at doing these descriptions. I don't have nearly the experience in whiskeys or scotch. Again, it's very sweet. Very much the honey and the rock candy still. Not so much lemon on this one. You get a little bit of the the iodine or astringent, kind of a little medicinal note on the end. Which also, when I get that, a lot of times I get like a spearmint note with that. So much better than the first one. It's much more balanced. It still does start with sweet, but then you don't get a spike of alcohol and just spiky intensity with it. The peat also isn't just a hard-hitting note, and and the sweetness doesn't stand out. It's very, can't use the term mellow, but there aren't spikes in this one. In the first one, you got boom, the alcohol boom sweetness. This one is very even. I like that. That's not a lot of tasting notes. A huge difference between those two. I would say also the peat. Let me take one more. The peat does not, I just realized that, does not hit. I mean, these are all peated scotches, but yeah, more, it's there. You get some heat and some peat at the end. A little bit more oceanic. You get the salt, the marine layer, or whatever you want to call it. Okay, moving on to, this is the red check. Gorgeous, look at that. So the scents are tougher to pick up. This one has got more of almost a grain. The first two were more sweet on the nose, very, very honey forward. This one, the scent is a lot more subdued. I'm not getting a lot with it. Stretched, you could pull out kind of still the lemon honey, but the way toned down, and maybe a floral note on the end. I'm gonna be very interested what this one is. It's one of the, I guess it's not the darkest one. I like it less than this one. I'm trying to think. It's a little bit spikier. You get a little more spike of heat on it. Yeah, that's what I'll go with. It's there's I'm gonna say no sweetness. I don't know, maybe you could pull some out, but compared to the other two, it's mostly whatever you want to call it, white pepper, cinnamon. It's a spicy note that's pretty warm. It's pretty intense, and tasting not a lot of depth to it, actually. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I'll come back to it. Because the other thing you have is getting used to peat and smoke and alcohol as we go through. But, in fact, let me go back, because I'm betting that the sweetness on this one's going to be kicked up. Wow. Yeah, now this one, after having the Red Star one here, super hot. This one is very mild. Would need a couple more sips, I think, to pick up on the peat again. But it tastes almost like a non-peated one. I don't know. Very amateur here, right? Let's see. So this is the purple check mark. All right, so we're back to, I'm guessing this is what we just say, the typical Lagavulin note. Still pretty not intense scent. Sweet, and just kind of general sweet. It's not actual honey. It's not that intense. Very pleasant though. Oh wow. That one is good. Again, I don't know if we're doing a disservice. I'll have to go back and forth maybe a little bit and then come back and do the judgments. That one again is very balanced. So slight sweet on the nose, very balanced on the palate. Not a spike of sweetness, not a spike of pepper. It does get more peat. Okay, now with the second one, The finish is very long, very peat heavy, campfire, not ashy, not an ashy peat. Very good though, but this is that's a very easy drinker now. Let's go back to this red check. Yeah. That one's still just not, I don't know. It's like it's missing some complexity. Now watch, that'll be the most expensive out of the bunch. Which is fine. Which is fine. So the last one is Blue Star. Also, going a little quick. I'm already 15 minutes in, but geez, I mean, I think the appropriate thing would be spending an hour just enjoying these. And so now we're going back to kind of what I smelled at the beginning. This is sweeter than the last few have been, but maybe a touch medicinal. Not the honey. More cough syrupy, not that sweet, but we get that medicinal note and maybe a little mint wintergreen type medicinal note on the nose. So that one, more medicinal tasting than the others, not a hot spike in it. Finishes out with peat. I guess like you would expect. If you didn't have some peat at the end, it wouldn't be Isla. But the finish is very, I don't know. You know, it's more medicinal, I would say, on the finish. More peaty. There's none of the sweetness at the beginning again. So let me go back to, I remember the green. This was the first one I started with. And it was super sweet on the nose, and it still is, so that hasn't changed. And it is the sweetest of the bunch on the palate, with a spike, again, a spike of pepper at the end. Yeah, so this is the sweetest, but it's also the least balanced. So because of that, that'll be my least favorite. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pause you guys. I'm gonna take some water, go back through these, try them out back and forth again, rank them, and then we'll be back. Alrighty, we're back. Took a little water, took a few more sips, shuffled things around. Least to my most favorite, and we will find out together which is which. So my least favorite, and I'd have to say, just in terms of what you want from Lagavulin, it's not bad. It was the first one. It's the Blue Star. There's I'm sorry, not the blue, the Green Star, that was sweet on the nose, sweet on the taste. You know what? I don't know. I could reverse. I'm gonna reverse these. Sorry. So my least favorite is the red check. That's the one that had a lot lack of scent, lack of taste, kind of just very blah, like it was missing something. And I don't have a way to see what these are beforehand. So I will check, and I will let you know when I get to the red check. Oh. All right, I'm okay with that. So my least favorite was Lagavulin Game of Thrones. I guess that makes sense. And it's still, you know, for the price, it was worth it. So the one I switched over was the Blue Star. That was just, I guess I moved it up because just or the Green Star. In terms of just drinking enjoyment, it's not sophisticated. It was kind of spiky. It had a sweet spike and then a heat spike, but just the sweetness. Maybe sometimes you're in the mood for that. And it certainly is an easy drinker. Well, look at that. Interesting. So it's the 2020 special release, Soaring, Smoky, and Intense, the King of Islay. Natural cask strength. So what is it? 56.4% alcohol. I didn't drink too hot, really. I guess that might be the spike. Again, I didn't try any of these with water. That tends to be not my thing. And in terms of price comparison, the fact that this was almost the worst at potentially 3 to 4 times the price of this one. Ay, ay, ay. Okay, Blue Star here in the middle. Is that this one? That's the normal. That's the Lagavulin 16. That's their standard release. Now, and this one were very close. I had a hard time deciding which would be where. They're different. Not that one's a ton better than the other one. So the next one was the Lagavulin Distiller's Edition. This was distilled in 2005, bottled in 2020. So it's 15 years old. By far the coolest bottle. I love this bottle with the raised dates on it and things like that. So it makes my favorite Lagavulin in a blind test the Offerman Edition Guinness cask finished. There you go. I said it. Facts. Thank you for joining me. See you on the forum.